And now with the announcement for our third match, Jasakuro.
Lorain, Ohio, Saturday night, Black River Jiu-Jitsu Invitational. Our next match is scheduled for 9 minutes at 165 pounds, making his way to the red corner, representing Head Nod Headquarters, fighting out of Wood River, Illinois, introducing Xavier Rothe.
Don't fear no death, I'm gonna burn that down to their ashes cold.
Could be our first match we see like any actual wrestling exchanges. Both guys have, you know, a wrestling background.
Would love to see that.
Making his way to the blue corner, representing Outcast Jiu-Jitsu, fighting out of Mentor, Ohio, presenting Zach Burke.
Nope, there's well, we might see it later.
I think Zach actually has like collegiate wrestling background.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, Zach's dropping back on a leg here. I can't tell.
Not a ton of connection. The knee line is out.
It's kind of a fun thing with sub only though, the way you can drop back and come up. You don't have to worry too much about giving up the sweep.
Yeah, you can kind of flow through different positions a little more organically.
Yep.
Zach doing a pretty good job of like playing with the distance and getting around the frames, trying to force Xavier into, you know, not the guard that he wants.
Mm-hmm. So one trend I've noticed with higher level guys lately is a lot of hand fighting from this position here. You can see Zach's like fighting that top frame a lot. I feel like that wasn't usually taught, but you see it a lot more from high level competitors.
Yeah, because, I mean, everybody has good positions at a high level, but like if you can't dictate where the match takes place, you know, you're not going to be able to get to your better spot. So being able to control the neutral ground like that is going to give you a lot more opportunities to attack. And I think, honestly, Zach is playing a little bit conservatively. You see it when he gets in further danger, in this case not being there, he's passing from his knees to try to eliminate the threat of the leg lock entries, and, you know, got a little more overzealous, and now he's having to defend the legs.
Yep.
Clear the action back to neutral.
So Zach a little higher up now. See if it stays that way.
And maybe after that last leg attack, he didn't really get put in a ton of danger. Maybe that'll give him a little bit of confidence to pass a little more freely. Big explosive guard pass over the top and resetting back in the knee shield.
Interesting. Almost like a cradle there.
Yeah.
How's it go?
You know, some things kind of get crossed over from wrestling, and I think that one maybe, you know, doesn't have a ton of utility there, but at least for guard passing.
He's controlling the head with his right arm.
Yeah, This is creating good opportunities for Xavier, though, because the more he kind of reaches over the guard, the more his weight's put over top of Xavier, and it'll give opportunities for those entries to the legs. But I feel like Xavier's just a little bit like gun shy at the moment. He hasn't really taken a ton of risks from the bottom yet.
So Zach's got his hands locked here. Let's it go. Oh.
Oh, this is trouble. Potentially
Darce
a
there?
Darce.
Yeah. Yeah, this changes the position, obviously. He forces front headlock situation.
And creates the threat of the back exposure here. And with the wrestling background, I almost expect if the Darce isn't, circling behind, looking for the back.
Beautiful. Hey, we got a crucifix coming here?
Could be. Can't really see what's going on the other side of the legs there, but this is definitely a position I like attacking the crucifix from personally, and it looks like he does have it.
Okay. So this is your wheelhouse here.
Yeah. Xavier doing a good job trying to keep his hands on the inside, using his hip just to reinforce that arm, but obviously in a little bit of trouble here. For Zach, he needs to try to get under the back of the head for Xavier so he can start fighting for the choke a little more, and ends up losing the position, but still has that great back exposure.
So Xavier's doing a good job keeping those elbows real tight to his hips, not giving a lot of space for the seatbelt to come in. And looks like he's back to a guard at least. So I wonder if Zach's going to look for the head again like he did before. Going for the Darce.
He definitely looks a little more confident with the passing. He's being a little more aggressive, looking for attacks a little more.
Yep.
And that might be a good strategy because it seems like at the moment Xavier's having a little bit of trouble pulling the trigger. So, if you get a sense of that, it's, great opportunity for you to send your own attacks.
Yep, no surprise there.
Using the threat of the toe hold, but he still doesn't have the knee line, so he's going to have to find some way to get, climbing in, almost gets to a saddle. Zach doing a good job turning out and pushing on the hips to clear the leg and ends up back in neutral.
Yep. So the number one criteria for the judging is the number and quality of close submission attempts. So you just wonder, does that right there, sort of how do you weigh that, and then how do you weigh Zach's Darce earlier? Because those are the obvious sub attempts. So
yeah, I would kind of put them in the same category. Like, I think the Darce was more threatening because it forced a big reaction and it forced him to give up position. Where that leg attack, he didn't really have a lot of control of the rest of the leg, and finishing a toe hold with that shallow of a grip is going to be, nearly impossible.
Mm-hmm.
With just 2 minutes left, I'd like to see both these athletes really going after it because, with the criteria just being submissions, it could be, pretty close.
Knee cut there. Xavier might have a chance to get him with the leg here.
Yeah, decent. He's got him off balance.
Good bite on it. It's coming under. Strong sub attempt could be the difference at this point.
For sure. And, he's got a good entry on the leg, so there's definitely opportunities here. He's created good extension. Zach is trying to bring the leg back under him, but looks like he's passing it over to the saddle and loses it on that. Look in the right direction, though, for Xavier, getting an attack on the board, but not able to really secure a submission in that.
We'll see if these guys turn it up in the last 45 seconds here. big chunk of the match has been spent in this exact position, this knee shield.
Yeah, the knee shield can really, like, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it in training, like, almost every round ends up there, at least at one point.
It can be very stifling if they know how to play it well on bottom.
Fifteen seconds left, near pass, and loses connection. Oh.
Fun.
Jumping over the top, exposed his own leg. Knee line is not in, so.
Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. He had a bite on the heel there.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And now, with our official decision, Jazz Sakuro.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 9 minutes, judges Gabriella McAuliffe, Rocco DiTilio, and the audience all agree your winner by unanimous decision, Zach Burke.
Okay. That was a great match. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, a little slower than the last two without the submission, but a lot of good action.